All right. So we are going to do a little Instagram overview and talk about following and unfollowing and how to grow your network on here specifically. But I'll show you some of the key things that we use in here and just some key points to Instagram first. So the biggest thing is that you can see that I have almost 7,500 followers, right? When I started with Instagram, when I first started my business, I had 129 Instagram followers. So I have put a lot of effort into growing my followers because the bigger network that I have, the more people that see my stuff, the faster I'm going to find someone that's going to want this right now, as opposed to, the people that are going to have to wait. I was a person that said no when Courtney asked me if I wanted to join this. So I don't ever take a no as a no. I take it as a not right now. But, you want to find like the yeses faster. And so that is why we grow our network. And so I grow on Instagram. So the first thing is my Instagram name is something that's just like kind of easy to remember, easy to write, not too long. My first and last name are on my profile, which I think is really huge, so that they can see who I am. And then you'll just see a few points about me. So these are very specific to me. Disney addict. I will show you when I follow people. I mostly follow people that are Disney people. It's my passion. It's something that I love. I live near Disney. It's just something that about me that I love. And I have, you'll see some of my clothes are Disney and all the stuff. So anyway, that's something huge about me. And then adventurer. I do like to travel a little bit, and so I will go on like little weekend adventures with my son and stuff, and so I have that on there. I do love doing like the fancy lettering, like the doodle whatever lettering stuff, and so I have that on there. I love coffee, all types of coffee, but especially our keto coffee, so I have that on there. And then I'm not just a mom. My son actually had clubfoot when he was born, and so I do follow some girls from some hashtags that have to do with clubfoot, so that when they come to my profile, I look for things that they're going to relate to me on. So right when they come to my profile, I am on public. It's totally up to you if you want to be on public or not. I've always been on public. That's just what I do. So that's what I am right now. You can choose whatever you want. Sorry if I cough. I have gum in my mouth so that I hopefully don't, but I had a sinus infection. Anyway, so you can put whatever website you want. I do have my Facebook on there just so that they can come over to my Facebook and connect with me there. I do post on my Facebook a little bit more than I post on my Instagram. And I do live videos. So if they ever want to come watch any of those, they can just click. My Facebook is right there. The biggest thing that I do on Instagram is stories, right? And so I'll go look at my stories right now. I like to do things that are very inspiring. So these are some inspiring stuff. I will always have something related to the products where you have to click through and see some results. Instagram isn't really working today, so it's probably like not the best day to be showing Instagram tutorial, but it's fine, it'll work. So you click through here, there's a poll there. The reason I know that Instagram isn't really working because in 6 hours, only 17 people have seen my, see, it didn't even show me this in the beginning. So only 17 people haven't seen my story. And so that's how I know Instagram is just not working because I have a lot more views than that, but that's okay. So anyway, these are the products. I always have a poll there. You can see the poll so people can click that. I have my story. So I have a few of these, and this is like telling my story on stories. And so there's a few you can click through, you can see what I've done. Everyone has a story, even if you don't have like the fancy, 12 months and I promoted, whatever, it doesn't matter. You have a story. You should have one of these if you really want to work Instagram. And I post something like this all the time. And you can see people click it. So now I can go in. If I click the little seen by 217 people on the bottom left there, then you can go in and see who's clicked it. So I can go in and message those people. Income disclosure. And so then I just have like random stuff mixed in there, right? And usually I'll have some life stuff too, but it's just been a crazy day. So eventually I'll put some of just me and Gavin, just pictures and just us. I want people to be able to see me and feel like they know me, So I don't only do products and stuff. It just happens to kind of be what's in there right now. Yesterday I did a ton of life stuff. I did like what I was eating for lunch and all kinds of random stuff that you probably don't think people care about, but they do. And so I put all of that stuff in my stories. And so I post a little bit less on Instagram than I do on Facebook, but I'm always, see, Instagram's messing up. I'm always doing stories every single day. And so if you looked at my profile, honestly, you would never know unless you clicked into my stories that I was an It Works distributor. And I kind of like that because I want them to see who I am. When they go to my profile, they see I'm someone that clearly loves Disney, that has a little boy. I have a husband there, or, you know, some sort of significant other. I'm just happy. I'm out and about all the time. Here I am drinking coffee, so I like coffee. I'm at the park, you know, I want them to see me. So, but if you click into, you know, my photos, then you'll see me talking about my business. And so you can see like the beginning is talking about trips or whatever, but when you get towards the bottom, it's talking about opening up spots and whatever. So anyway, so I try to have my photos just something that is eye-catching. I do edit my photos with PicTapGo, super quick. It's really easy. Of course, they're not going to load now, but all my captions are kind of just about dreams and like how excited I am and how my business is just taking off and I'm just speaking life and all that stuff. So that's kind of what I post about on Instagram. All of my photos are basically something related to, you know, the business and things like that. That's kind of just what I post about in here. So that's that. These little bubbles that say Disney, recipes, my story, health, they're like the bluish ones along the middle of the screen. Those are called your highlights, and you can create those. And then when people click in them, I've added, well, of course, it's not going to show y'all, but these are all like, it's like the worst day to do an Instagram how to, but that's okay. They're all Disney stories. They're stories from when I was at Disney, just random. And so let me click into it again. Let me try. Of course, that's none of it's going to work. That's okay. Well, anyway, I add, so like my story one right here, that's the circle of death. It's one of those stories like I just showed you from my stories where it talks about like, in the beginning, I this, and oh, yeah, it's not going to work, but this looks a lot similar to this story where it talks about 27 years old and 12 months in, blah, 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 and whatever. And, you know, what if, and so that's what I have that. Oh, so when you click on it, you see highlight on the bottom right here. You can click on highlight and you can decide which story you want to add that to. So if I wanted to add that to one, I would just click on one of these and it would add it right to it. So that's really easy. I have my story there. In the health one that of course, you're not going to be able to see it right now, but I have a bunch of It Works products and things in there. So if someone just goes to my profile, they can see that. And recipes are actual, like I don't know, I share a lot of my recipes just of regular food and stuff, and people have asked me to share them, so I put it right there on my highlights. And then Disney, because obviously like most people that come to my profile are Disney people. Okay, so that's kind of like the gist of all of that. You'll see that there's a home screen, and along the top are different people's stories. So I try to go through those every day and watch a bunch of stories. If you comment on one of them, you see how there's a send message right there? You can send a message. So you're commenting on their story, but it's sending them a direct message. That's an easy way to get in their inbox. And you can usually you can scroll down and look at all the photos and comment and like. Commenting and liking on photos is so important because you want that interaction. If you're interacting with someone, then they'll interact with you most of the time. But if you're not interacting with them, then you can't expect them to interact with you, right? So the search button, sometimes I will use this. Clearly, it shows me a lot of Disney stuff because I look at a lot of Disney stuff. So this is actually one way that I will find people to follow. I like this one because it's the Star Wars that opened up in Disneyland. And so this person has a ton of likes, right? You can see they have over 1,000 likes right there. So I'm going to click on the likes right there, and it's going to bring up everyone that's liked it. And I'm just going to, I don't know, I usually just scroll down a little bit, just no really apparent reason. It's just what I do. And so I'll just kind of look and I'll just kind of go through and I'll be like, okay, she's a woman, right? I look for women specifically. She's a woman. I can see her face. It's not a weird photo. And I'll just go through and I'll follow. And so I will just go down the list and choose the people that, sometimes when they have these Style Disney, I know that's like a blogger account, and so I don't always follow them. But like if they just look kind of like a semi-normal account, I will just kind of go through and literally follow people, right? So that's easy. Follow. I go through, I'll do about 200 a day, and honestly, it takes me like 5 minutes. Another way that I do it is you can literally go search up here in the little search bar. I can do hashtag Clubfoot cutie. That's cute. Okay, so let's go there. And you'll see that these are the top ones. That means they have the most likes. And the recent ones are just posted most recently. So you can go to either one. And, oh, look, that's us. We showed up there. So maybe this little girl, she's adorable, right? So I can go through and I can go click on their likes and I can just look. And you can go in the profiles if you want, but I just feel like it can take a lot of time if you're going in someone's profile. And the only thing I would really look for if I'm going in their profile is just to make sure that they actually post in it. I can't even see her account, you know what I mean? So like, and I will still follow her even if she's on private. It'll just say requested instead of followed. But there's no way to know that someone would be a good person for your business or a good fit for your products, right? So you're just wanting to bring in real people that you think are gonna be awesome. So like I wouldn't add this Samantha R person because there's a picture of a cat. Like I don't know, it's just my own opinion. So anyway, that's another way to do it. You can go through hashtags. You can also go to your friends and let's see. A lot of my friends will post about Disney stuff. Let me see if I can find one because that's who I follow. So sometimes if I find a photo or just a cute photo, but like a photo that has to do with Disney, I will just go and click on the likes and follow them. Anyway, obviously I can't even see half my photos, so this isn't really working, but say that this was anyone that actually has likes on it, huh? Here. Let's say that this was a Disney photo, right? And I could just go and click the likes and see if I want to follow these people. It's just another example. Another thing you could do is go to the people that are liking your stuff, and you could go into their profiles and you could follow some people that are liking their most recent photo. So I'm just going to choose here, this person. So, okay. Their most recent post was done 1 day ago, right? So it's within like the past 48 hours. And so I can click on their likes and just start liking or following the people that liked their photo. They liked my photo. Clearly they have a connection. Maybe their followers would like the same things I do as well, you know? So that's another way. And there's so many different ways you could go follow people and find people. But I feel like when you're going and specifically looking for people that like the same things that you do, they're going to have that connection so much faster, because if they liked a Disney photo and they come to my profile and the first thing they see is Disney Addict, of course they're going to want to, follow me back. Or if I do the Clubfoot one and they come and they're like, oh, Clubfoot Mama, cool. Like they're also a Clubfoot person. I'm going to go follow them. So that's that. That's how you follow. And so, like I said, there are restrictions on Instagram. If you do too many actions, it will not shut your account down, but it will tell you that you're not allowed to follow, and it will kind of put you in, like we call it, Instagram jail. And so you don't really want to be in Instagram jail. So I stick to 200 people a day that I'm following. You could go maybe a little bit more than that, but I feel like that's a good amount. And so let's say that my following right now isn't anywhere near the amount of followers because I did a ton of unfollowing, but let's just say that my following was at 7,700, right? I don't want my following to be too much more than my followers number, because then it looks like if I was following, let's just say 10,000 people, but I only had 7,000 followers, like that's kind of weird, right? And so I want them to be around the same number. I don't want to go too much over the amount of followers I have. But let's just say I was at like 7,600 or something. I could go into my app and I'll show you this followers app, right? I can't really touch it, but it's in the middle on the very bottom. It says followers. That's the one that I use to unfollow. And so I've kind of already set it up, so I hope this works good. So you have to just let it like load, and then it will tell you all of the stuff. It's completely free. I have not paid for anything, and I'm not going to pay for anything. So this, the first one says new followers. The second one says have unfollowed you. And then the next one says are not following you back. That's the one that you want, right? And so I want to click on that one, the are not following you back. There's 214. And so I can either manually go down and go and hit them. If I click the following button, it will start to unfollow, or the easier way, in the top right-hand corner, you see that little box, the arrow sticking up. Click on that, click unfollow all, and it will just do it for me, right? So now it's just unfollowing. I have to keep the app open or it will not continue to do it. So you just have to kind of like just put the app down whenever I'm doing this, and it will just unfollow for me. And I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to get out of that for right now because I don't need to have to sit there while it does it. And then once it will only do 200 at a time. And once it hits that 200 mark, it will say, it'll have like a pop-up and tell you that you have to wait 5 to 10 minutes to try again. I have unfollowed 400 people in a day, and I've been fine. I haven't got put in Instagram jail, but so like I'll do it once now, and then I'll wait a few hours and do it like later in the day. So up to you. You can do that, but I wouldn't do much more than like 400 is I think the limit right now, just because they've lowered how many people that you can follow and unfollow in a day. So that's kind of how it works, very simply. Like I just do it very consistently. I follow people, and then I'll wait, like a day, and then I'll go back and unfollow. And I have done it ever since the beginning, and that's how I've grown. Most of my customers and distributors are from Instagram because I've grown my network so big. And when I'm following people, like I said, that have something in common with me, when they go to my profile, they want to follow me back because they just see me. And they see how fun, like how much fun I'm having and how much I love, whatever that subject is. And we have that instant connection. And when you're, marketing or selling to someone, you have to have a connection with them. When they can like, know, and trust you, then they will buy from you or they will join your team. So they have to feel like they like me. They have to feel like they know me, which they might like my posts, and then they might feel like they get to know me through my stories, because I'm doing stories where I might be saying something on it. You might see my face. I might be talking. You might see my son running around. I don't have those in there right now, and you can't even see half my stories, but I'll do a lot of real life stuff. I don't always have like even makeup on when I'm on my stories. I might just be talking about something that I'm doing that day, but people are so interested in your life, and stories are like the biggest part of how this all works. They have to get to know you through the stories, right? So I think that's like the biggest thing. So for instance, because mine aren't working, I follow a lot of bloggers. It's just my thing. I don't really go watch a lot of TV, but this girl clearly has a lot of followers. I look at her stuff a lot because she has a lot of just very bright, super cute photos. She's a blogger. She's a fashion blogger. But when you go through her stories, look, here's her. She's on screen and she's talking about she is a rep, or she like a brand ambassador basically for this bracelet. And she is just talking about it, showing you how to use it. And then she'll go and she'll show like her different shoes, and here's her kids at the store. I mean, this is such a great example of what I would normally do in my stories. There are ones where I guess it's not on there right now, but she'll just go on screen and talk. I follow a lot of bloggers. I mean, these people are how I've like learned basically. Look, she's just on screen talking. I know that people get nervous to do this kinds of stuff. She's actually really funny. But this is how you get people to know you on the internet. Like, they don't know you. They're not your friend. They don't know who you are. And so if you want them to get to know you, you have to put yourself out there a little bit. You see me in like every one of my photos almost, because people want to see you. They want to see who you are. Another thing that you should notice when you start to post Instagram is you should see which photos get the most likes. Now, I don't want you to base your worth in life off of who is liking your photos on Instagram. The reason I want you to look at that is because the ones that are getting the most likes are the ones I want you to post the most often, right? So for instance, me and my sweet friend Charnay, we got just under 100 likes, which for me isn't a lot. And it's not because we're not pretty and we're not amazing. It's just because people don't know who she is on my Instagram. So they're not as likely to like the photo. And if they're not liking the photo, then they're a lot less likely to also stop at it and read my caption, which I thought was a really great caption, like very inspiring. Sorry. But when you have me and my family, look, now it's almost 100 likes more, because it's just my cute little family. And then when you have me and Gavin, and you have multiple photos in a row like this, look how many likes I have on this one. Almost like 350, over 350. So I try to like look at that kind of stuff, not because I think people don't like me when they're not giving me 350 likes. It's just because I like to see which photos do the best, and then I do more of that. That's how I know which photos to post. Sorry that like most of them aren't working right now, and also like time of day is very important. Realize that most people are looking at photos when they're out of work. So when you're posting on social media, I know this is kind of like going way far in depth more than following and unfollowing, but it's just all very important part of it. Like if you're posting very early in the morning, people might see it before they go to work. And if you're posting at night, people are more likely to see it because they are awake, looking at Facebook in the evening, whereas they're working during the day. So it depends on your market too, obviously, but that's kind of what I found. And so hopefully this was super helpful. It's very easy to grow your network. You just have to be very consistent. I'd say I get a 10% follow back rate. So if you're following like 50 people and only like a few of them have followed you back, it's not because they don't like you or you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that you have to be very consistent with doing it more and more and more, because not everyone is very active on Instagram. And that's another thing, is like, if they're not going to follow me back, there's a good chance maybe they just aren't active. And I don't want those people. I want people that are going to be active, because I want them seeing my stories about my, my business and my products. And I want them seeing my, posts. So all of that is just important in the Instagram world. So, all right. Well, I'm going to hop off of here. And all right, my husband just came home. So I'm going to hop off of here, but hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, if you have questions, always come to us.